Happy New Year. I'm so excited for today's episode. But before we get into it, let's go ahead with the preliminaries. Welcome to Fill Up Your Cup, the self-care space for women who do it all, but still choose to pour into themselves first. I'm your host, Kiara Noel, and every week we're diving into real conversations about wellness, beauty, boundaries, and building a life that you don't need to escape from and building a life that feels as good as it looks. So grab your coffee, grab something to drink. I got me a matcha, and let's get into this episode. I am so excited for this episode. I have actually recorded this once already, and I just never put it out. And I don't think that it would have done as much justice as it would now, because we are in a new year. I know a lot of us left some things back in 2025. Lord knows that I did. And I think this is a beautiful opportunity to talk about the power of no and choosing to protect your peace in 2026, because if you're not doing that, you need to be doing that. This by far is one of the most freeing forms of self-care that I've found. And I really want to share with you guys what that looks like, because people will be able to tell. Let me tell you guys, for the last 2 months or so, I have heard quite often, girl, you looking good. What you doing? What's been going on with you? You're glowing. Have you lost weight? What's up? You look different. Your aura's changed. What? I have heard it all in the last month or so. And really, what kind of cemented it for me was last week, in the span of 24 hours, really in the span of 12 hours, two people told me, you look like peace. You look like you're at peace. And as I thought on everything going on in my life, I realized that I am at peace. Quite literally, I am. If I were to let you in on the details of my personal life and my journey, just even the last 6 to 7 months, you would be shocked at what I am experiencing. But that testimony will come down the line. For now, though, I want to cover what it means to say no, the power of saying no, and how to choose protecting your peace. Because for a long time, I didn't know how to say no. I was a chronic people pleaser. I wanted to do whatever I thought would get me liked, or whatever I thought would let me just skate by unscathed. These were all lessons that I learned in survival, like survival mode. I think we've all heard as a child, be seen and not heard. And that did a number on me, because I have gone through most of my life trying to be seen and not heard, trying to be pleasant, trying to control people's opinion of me. And I learned a little bit a few years ago when I opened my business that other people's opinions of me is none of my business. None of my business at all. And I learned something newer in the last 6 months that I think really brought both of those together and have made for good self-care. So I really want to take these glasses off. I feel you guys can see the glare, but I don't know, me barefaced is still tea. It is. It is. And I also don't want to look tired, because I'm really not tired. It just looks that way. But I'm going to take the glasses off and just be straight with you. So let's start with the power of saying no. I'm gonna hold your hand. Hold your hand. I want you to say this with me. When I say no, mm-hmm, yes, sir, I'm really saying yes to something else. One more time. When I say no, I'm really saying yes to something else. Let that be your mantra. Because so often, I don't know about y'all, I don't like to hear the word no. I don't. I don't. So I won't ask. I won't say anything. If I think the answer is going to be no, I just don't want to hear that, because who are you to tell me no? I don't like no. But I really don't like to say no, or I really didn't like to say no until I started putting myself first. And there were like several situations in which I had to learn how to say, no, I don't accept this. No, I don't like this. No, I don't want to operate here. No, I don't want you to talk to me like that. No, I'm not going to accept just any old thing. Oh, I think that saying no is your opportunity to say yes to something else. For example, when I go home today, I'm saying no to stopping and getting dinner, but I'm saying yes to following the meal prep that I set for myself. Yeah, I'm saying yes to not wasting food. I'm saying yes to saving money just off that one small thing. And so when it comes to self-care, it is okay to not be everywhere and not do everything. When I first gave this example, I don't know if it was the last podcast that I posted. Actually, you know what? It was. It was about self-care during the holidays. You don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to do everything. I just had to check myself on that this morning. I try to give myself every other Saturday off because I find that I never have a Saturday off. And for the first 2 Saturdays of the year, I worked. There is a really bad snowstorm here in Metro Detroit this past week, and I had a lot of clients reschedule because of that. Today, the roads are not as clear as I thought that they would be. And on my way into work, I had the thought of, what if I need to reschedule people for today? Am I going to have them come in on Saturday? I don't really have anything left for tomorrow. And I had to coach myself in that moment because that's not what we agreed. That's not what I agreed with myself. Now I make the schedule and I can make the changes, but I know how I feel when I'm working every single Saturday on top of all of the other responsibilities that I have. And so I had to tell myself, no, we're not going in Saturday. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should. And think of how you feel, how you're going to feel after you go in. You're going to feel exhausted. You're going to feel like you shouldn't have did it. You're going to, all of these other things. And so by saying no to that, I got to say yes to a slow Saturday. Yes to waking up and making myself breakfast. Yes to going to a birthday party. Yes to just having a time to collect myself and relax. Yes to actually having a Friday, because usually everybody's excited on the Friday. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. I don't get to feel like that because I got to wake up and go to work the next day. But it's so refreshing every now and then where it's like Friday is the last day of the week and I get to be on that same Friday high as everybody else. I be missing that because I work hard, and choosing to say no to coming in is choosing to have a Saturday, which is why I set that system up in the first place. Now, there may be some things in your life where you are not sure if no is the right answer. I really challenge you to think about what you're saying no to, or to think about the opposite of what you're saying no to. Even if it's, do I want to stop at this McDonald's drive-thru? Okay, I'm not a fan of McDonald's, but if you are, go off. Stopping at McDonald's versus cooking dinner. You are saying no to spending the time cooking dinner, or you could be saying no to some of the dietary goals that you have. It could be either or, but explore what that opposite action is and where you may be benefiting from saying no, because there is actually a benefit from saying no. Because when it's for you, it's for you. Like, I really would love a hamburger. Like, I would love an Impossible Burger. I would, but I have food out. I don't want to make any more stops. I don't want to spend any money. I still want to work out. And on top of that, tomorrow I'm going to go on my first solo date of the year. I'm probably not going to eat the food that I cooked at home. By saying no to eating out today, I get to enjoy it and not feel as guilty when I eat out tomorrow. I'm sorry that both of my examples are food examples, but just like even taking the phone into bed. If I plug my phone in across the room, I'm saying no to doom scrolling. I'm saying no to potentially staying up to 12 a.m. I'm saying no to being a part of whatever is going on in the web because it has been 15 days and so much has happened. So much has happened on the internet. It is a lot. But by saying no to bringing my phone to bed and putting my phone across the room, I'm saying yes to falling asleep reading a book, which is one of my goals for the year. Not reading a book, but reading several books. I'm saying yes to more, a higher quality of sleep. I'm saying yes to a longer time of sleep because I'm not up doom scrolling. So really pay attention to, really paying attention to the benefits that can come from saying no. I think that will free you in a lot of ways because it's been freeing me. It's been freeing me real good. And one of the reasons that I wanted to touch on the power of saying no is that I think that sometimes when it comes to self-care, we are so focused on adding things to our plate. I need to read more. I need to do this more. I need to do that more. Even with our vision boards, our goals, we're all adding things into our day. Using the word no gives you the opportunity to take some things off of your plate. It gives you the opportunity to make better decisions, and it gives you the opportunity to show up for yourself. And whoever you're saying no to will be okay. They will. Because regardless of how much I don't like to hear the word no, sometimes I gotta hear it. And I gotta respect what that other person has going on. Because they're gonna need a moment just like I am. We all need it. So I encourage you to exercise your no. And oh, okay? No, all of that. Okay, now I want to get into protecting your peace. Let me tell y'all. Last year was the last 6 months of the year. It was thing after thing after thing after thing. And when I say I was warring with it, like tussling with it, just so very extremely uncomfortable. And I looked it. Like, I looked stressed. I looked bloated. I looked like I didn't care about what I looked like. I was feeling so many things very heavily. And I got to a point where I had to say, God, I give this to you. There's nothing that I can do. There's nothing that I can say. There, in no aspect do I have any control over this situation. So I give this to you. And in turn, I ask for peace. I literally said that prayer one night. And that's exactly what God did. And that's biblical because let me look up the verse for you. So last year I got into reading my Bible while I was in this really rough time. And one of the books that I was reading was Philippians. And when I read this is really what prompted my prayer. And it's Philippians 4:7. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Jesus Christ. And when I read that, I let it go. There are so many things in my life at that time that I could not understand. Why am I going through this? Why is this happening to me? Why? And to know that God will restore your peace, okay? He will restore it. And when I say it was about a matter of two or so weeks between the time that I prayed it and the time that I realized it came to fruition, I felt levity the next day and just started taking that daily walk with God. Like, I give this to you, I can't do nothing with it. I give this to you, I can't do nothing with it. I give this to you, I can't do nothing with it. I can't do it. You're gonna have to handle it because if I do it, y'all remember that one song? I'm gonna let God handle it. Cause if I do it, I'm going to jail. That's what it felt like. And after I moved into my new apartment, I was on TikTok or something and Strut by the Cheetah Girls, it came on. It was in one of my TikTok videos and I was like, I haven't heard that song in forever. And I played it on my TV. And for the entirety of the song, I was so present in the moment. I was dancing and singing around my new place. Like, tears filled my eyes because I felt so much at peace. And even now, there are lots of things going on in my personal life that normally would cause me to feel so disrupted And I'm learning to just give it over to God. I'm learning to take it off my plate. I'm learning to control the things that I can control. Somebody testing my peace right now. Right now, okay? I'm so sensitive to it. I don't like my peace to be disturbed. Not when I know that God will restore my peace. Don't come over here messing with what God restored. Leave me alone. He didn't already restore and healed, forgive me from this. Disturb my peace. The crazy thing is, because I already talked about being a chronic people pleaser, when you feel true peace and then you notice when little things try to come before it, you're like, what the word say? What the word say? It said, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, because Lord knows I don't understand why people, but it says, because that's in between commas. And the peace of God, if we take that part out, will guard your hearts and minds in Jesus Christ. So what I'm saying is, when you have peace and somebody is actively trying to disturb your peace, when something is actively trying to disturb your peace, when you feel like it's off in the slightest, that guard happens. You're like, hold up, wait a minute, wait, because we're doing good. We were at peace. We was flowing. Everything was light and white. Like, what's this in the mix? What's this in the garden? Take it out. Take it out. And I truly believe that, like, not only will God restore your peace, but He'll give you the tools to maintain your peace. He will give you the words to say. He'll give you signs, miracles, and wonders. He will give you a community of people to lean on. When I say that all of that has happened for me and my peace, I started this year. Take it off. Take it off. I have so many things on my plate right now. So many things that I have to do. And I would not have the mental capacity to do it if I was allowing small things to bother me. For example, that snow yesterday, did one on me, okay? Or even like today. Usually I wake up, I do my workouts in the morning, because if I don't work out in the morning, I will talk myself out of it all day. All day. Girl, don't work out later. You did this. Girl, don't work out later. We've been working on our feet. Our feet gonna be tired later. Girl, you don't want to do that. You just serviced 14 clients. You don't need to also do a workout. I do. And normally, because my flow of the day wasn't as what it usually is, I would use that as an excuse to not work out. But because I don't feel conflicted about how my morning went, and I see opportunity to get it done, I'm gonna get it done. Like, I'm just gonna get it done, and then I'm gonna have a treat afterward. But I'm gonna get it done because, and why not? Like, peace will make you be like, sure, why not? Why not? What's the worst that could happen? It almost gives you like a fearlessness. Because what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Either something good is gonna happen, something great is gonna happen, something God is gonna happen, or God gonna have to fix it. And He gonna do it. I already know He gonna do it because He did do it. He'll do it again. Now, I'm not saying be reckless, but what I'm saying is that if you give God the opportunity to restore your peace, He will. Like, He just will, because that's what He wants for us. Like, and I think people confuse being at peace with being comfortable. They're not. Where's my mic? They're not the same thing. Peace is internal. Nothing, unless you let it, nothing externally can shake that unless you allow it. Being uncomfortable is a state of mind, or even physically. Let's just say physically. Being uncomfortable is physical, but being at peace is spiritual. You can still be uncomfortable and be at peace, but they're not. As I was saying, it is okay to be uncomfortable and still feel peace. It's okay. It happens. You can even be comfortable and feel peace. It works. You're not you can, oh my gosh, Lord, please. I say all of this to say you can be uncomfortable, and still experience peace. You have to take charge, give it over to God, and let Him restore your peace. Okay. And now that we've covered protecting your peace, it really goes hand in hand with saying no. Because when you say no, you get an opportunity to refill your cup with the things that you want to fill it with. Refill your cup with peace, refill your cup with time with yourself, all of that. When you have peace, you have the confidence to say no because you know it's backed in protecting yourself and protecting your peace. Like saying no is protecting your peace. It's how you build boundaries, it's how you build boundaries. And when you build boundaries, it is much easier to practice self-care because you are taking an opportunity by setting a boundary to fill up your own cup, to move an expectation that you've put on yourself or an expectation that somebody else has put on you. And so I really wanted to take this time to urge you to protect your peace and to really consider what saying no means so that you can find the ways in your life to say no to the things that not necessarily don't serve you, but just say no to the things that drain you and no to the things that keep you in a non-peaceful state. We all deserve peace. God gives it freely to those who seek and who ask, and it will transform your life. Like it will. Like I said, I have been complimented time after time after time after time based on how I am at peace. Even like in the midst of a storm, I am calm, cool, and collected. And normally I'm a crash out. So that's for growth. But I just want to thank you so much. I do have a journal prompt for you to kind of help you through this. Where in your life do you need to set up boundaries? What can you say no to? And what brings you peace? Take some time, take 5 to 10 minutes, journal it out. You might be surprised at what you let out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I pray that this episode refilled your cup. If it did, just even a little bit, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, leave a comment, answer the journal prompt, maybe if you're feeling open to it, and share this with a friend who needs a little bit of extra love today, because I got it to give. I got it to give. Don't forget that you deserve to be poured into. And until next time, take care of yourself. Before we leave, quick announcement to those who have stayed until the very end. I'm hosting my very first self-care event coming up in February on the third Friday. I don't know what date that is right now. I'll try to put it on the screen. On the third Friday in February, I'll be hosting my very first self-care event. It will be a self-care circle pajama jam. More details to come, but you heard it here first. So I better see you there. Yeah? Yeah? Bye.